Yeah, yeah. Yo. What's the word? You know what it is. It's Werds Illah, a.k.a. Drew Skills, a.k.a. Ill doing it too. I am here with my co-host. You know who it is.
Yo, what up?
The Baker.
The Baker, DBL, whatever you
Yeah,
know.
if you haven't you already listened to the first episode, he's got a bunch of AKs.
Yeah.
Did you come up with another one to start us off with, man? Because you said you like.
Yo, I got mad ideas.
Mad
if you want to
ideas.
be honest, but I'm thinking about sticking to the moniker that was built and it was what was known. I ain't gonna say well known, but it was known was DBL. It's something that I attached to. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know, man. I had battles with that name. You know what I'm saying? Like it entered internal, whatever the fuck.
Right.
Internal battles with that name.
I feel you. Well, I mean, there's always room for any new names. I mean, shit. Look at Ghostface. Ghostface, what he got like fucking like 13 names
Word
or
up.
something. Like sometimes when he used to do the little blogs he would do and shit, and he'd start naming all the names before he even get to the blog. That should be like half the blog. It would be like molecule hands and whatever else.
Yeah,
oh
man.
my god, endless monikers, endless aliases. Like, but that's in the fashion of being an MC. You always trying to like find some kind of creative way to like describe sort of like your inner workings or the things that you disagree with or that you like, or you know what I mean. And
Word.
so that's like a old pastime though. Like even before, like nicknames and shit, like just shit that like just comes off the lips. Like you don't even know why you call somebody something sometimes. Like families and stuff, you have different names that you call each other and you don't know how sometimes they even began, but you just know like, yo, I've always called them that. Like that's just what I know them as. Like it's crazy how names either find you or like you just create something and then it just kind of becomes like people just start to like call you that all the time. Like it's fun though.
Yeah, man. No, I got a few in the tank. Like I'm
In the tank, you got it ready to go.
and in the tuck,
Release them as needed.
Yeah.
As needed. Yeah.
But yeah, man.
I mean, yo, in the fashion of the fact that we are, getting underway, we are fresh, so to speak, in the podcasting realm. I feel like it's necessary to discuss. It's big happenings in the podcasting world. You know what I mean? It's
Indeed. It's a lot of
volatile / bright, beautiful future. You know what I'm saying? For just the concept of podcasting.
Yeah.
It's a means of information gathering that's like it's an old way, but it's so real. It's the same as like there's a difference in like reading a book than like hearing an audio book or like reading it digitally on a screen. Like there's just something different when you have a physical book in your hand and you actually have to turn the pages. And like same way with writing, there's just a different thing. Like when you put a pen in your hand and put it to the paper, like there's a different connection. And I think podcasting is in that sort of realm in a different way, just that it's like, everybody can do it, but a select few learn that there's pacing, there's,
It's
an
technique.
Yeah, 100%.
Not just jumping in and talking about shit.
Nah, I mean it can be, and if you're good. If
it is that. It's
right,
deep, but it's
at its core, I guess. But deeper than that even is like, again, there's a give and take. You know what I'm saying? You have to know sort of a direction, but more or less know sort of where each other, if you're lucky enough to have somebody with you, or if it's just yourself, to know how to make it have, valleys and peaks and have it move and do things. Because if it's stagnant and it's just a lot of, we just talking about stuff that we saw or we heard from somebody else, like it's not going to have much to it,
Indeed. This is for entertainment. You know what I mean? In a sense. Someone's out here listening to be entertained or watching to be entertained. So in some form.
Definitely. Yeah. And whatever somebody takes from it is again up to them as well. That's why I feel like it's good, because the platform is, again, it's a long platform. It's meant to be more to go into the hours. You know what I'm saying? If you dare, you know what I'm saying? Like it depends on who the person is, and it depends on what the subject matter is. It depends on how informed they are on that subject matter, like you said. So, yeah, it's entertaining maybe for the listener, because again, a lot of like me and Diz talked about this when we talked about when we had an episode, which is coming out soon, hopefully.
Shouts out to Diz.
Yeah. It's like it's a long, like I said, it's a long-winded thing. So it's okay to go long. It's okay to have these long conversations, and to be okay. Like people come, they're gonna have to come and know that's what it's gonna be.
That's what it is. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure people. And I'm sure people are used to podcasts by now,
Yeah, I'm sure. Right.
And the concept of a podcast, excuse me. Yeah, but I when I listen to podcasts that I listen to, I pause it. I might come back, a couple hours later, maybe the next day. Shit might last me 3 days for one episode, depending on how long it is. Yeah, shouts out to the podcasters. Shouts out to my brother that's sitting in the room, man. Acknowledge him out here right now.
Yo.
Yeah, we in here.
But yeah, it's a moving thing right now, and there's a lot going on that we're not aware of. You know what I mean?
And that comes with doing the work.
Yeah, indeed.
And just kind of doing enough of sustaining and branding of your own that, again, you get to be somebody like a Joe Budden who, pardon me, he cultivated something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, word.
And it was through being ritualistic, you know what I'm saying? It has to keep going, and you have to be true to the character. And then when it becomes that you're not even being true to a character, you're just being true to you.
Yeah.
Then the ceiling is like, it seems like it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just, you gotta really want to talk about whatever it is that's real, truthful, and immediate. You know what I mean? And so that's why it's hard to lie. It's hard. That again, we're not going through and editing these things. You know what I'm saying? There's no, chopping this part out, coming back and getting the right take. Like, no, that's not how this is supposed to go. You know what I mean? And so
you gotta say something outrageous to have to go back and take it out. You know what I mean? Something just off the wall.
And the power is in our hands doing these things. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I took away from a lot of what Joe Budden was saying, is just like there's a lot that we're not getting. You know what I'm saying? And we're not even, we're fresh, but I don't even want to like maybe try to put myself in that.
Right.
And in the just the scheme of what he was saying, I guess, like I said, is just you're the creator. We are the thing that makes all things. You know what I'm saying? When you are a creative, you need to take ownership of that. You need to hold that and like really know what it is.
Yeah, indeed.
Build it and own it. You know what I mean?
Own it. Don't let the entity own you.
Yeah, because that's what they do. They'll have a way where they basically like own you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
pillage.
Then it's like, yeah, exactly. And that's still happening all the time. You know what I mean? There's still a whole lot of people.
Shouts out to Joe Budden, man. I fuck with that podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, for real. That's a fact.
Can I say that? I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, of course you can say that, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I fucks with that
podcast. And because this is where the waters you got to be in again, where it's shaky right now. You know, when everything seems to be a sensitive subject.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everything is public too, so a lot of stuff is like out there that maybe shouldn't even be out there. Like you gotta like, we're in such a give me information now. Like it's unstoppable. Like every day you gotta be aware. You gotta know. You gotta be on point. You gotta know about that story and this thing and that and you gotta be on.
Who's being canceled? Who's not?
Right.
You gotta keep up with
who's not cool no more, and like who's said some foul shit, and like. Yeah, it's an ongoing battle to like pick the right times to say something and then not say something, and when you should do something and when you shouldn't do because inevitably somebody's gonna be offended. The thing is though, is like that's good as long as it's the right people. You know what I mean? If you're offending the right people, then it's all good. You know what I mean? Like go for it. Like the people who deserve to be offended because of the fuck shit and the
unapologetically,
go for it. Like
indeed.
Have fun with it, but. Don't just try to put somebody on a cross if you don't really know. Like, There's so many people like you just quick. Just he said that, so fuck him.
Done.
He's done. Like, god damn, like the man can't like have a misunderstanding or not understand and be talking as somebody who doesn't understand. How can I be not understanding of something and speak about it like I understand it? I'm gonna say something wrong. I'm going to fuck up. But the problem is if I fuck up again and again and again and again, then it's like, okay, you know what you're doing.
That's
like,
you.
100% know what you're doing. But this is, again, case-by-case basis because there are situations where there's things where it's like, no, it's inexcusable. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Certain things it's just like, no. There's no, like, no, you got to eat this. You got to, whatever. I don't know what the punishment is because I'm not the guy who does the punishment. But for me, my punishment for people who I feel like are outrageous, I'm like, distance.
Yeah.
And like not engaging, you know, for a while because there's something there that you need to figure out. And I don't want to be anywhere near it.
Yeah, that's on you. That's on you. Yeah, word. Word up.
Like, you know, especially even like with the with Kanye, you know what I mean? And his ups and downs, it seems. This is all perception on our outside world. We are looking from the outside, looking in on his life and seeing the reactions and things are taken in clips and sound bites. And he's, you know, he's overwhelmed. And it doesn't mean that he gets a pass for everything. It does mean, though, it's like, again, where do people draw the line between, like, you throwing people out just because of a word they might have said or a conversation you didn't 100% agree with, or you feel like he's late to a conversation he should have had already, or it's like everything has to be on your time. And when it's like you start realizing like people are judging so much without even like giving chance for room for growth. Like you're not even allowing there to be even that chance of it. It's like, you know, you just demean them, fuck them. Who is he? He doesn't matter. Like it's like, damn, like that's the way people are. Like it's like when you're up, you're up. Like they say, but when you down, it's like people kick you, spit on you, like talk about you rude, like, and it usually be a lot of the people that you know too, people that you probably did a lot of stuff with, people who probably were down in a moment where you helped them, and vice versa, where y'all were that tight, and it'd be that type of stuff that happens. You know what I'm saying? We've watched it, with the greats, that we all admire. Facts. You know, we've seen how they've gone through so many family feuds and go to court all the time, you know. Like that's a weird world, man. Like, but I guess it's where we're, you know what comes with the territory, you know what I'm saying, is when you know what you are, you know, to bring it back some to Joe Budden, it's like he's not really fazed. He's like, because he knows none of this stuff is gonna stick or make anybody fit. He's just like, I'm just tired. I just feel like I have to address it. I just feel like I have to let things be known because people are trying to use my name in a vein because they need views or they need some attention or whatever, but they don't know anything about, like, they're not me. They haven't been around me. They don't really understand my inner workings. Like, so I don't know where I just went with any of this. I told you this was gonna happen.
Hey,
I'm long-winded and we take tangents.
You know,
this is what happens on the Werds Illah Podcast.
I'm with you though. I hear you, bruh.
Yeah, man. But what were you saying before we started about? It's like as an MC. I'll ask, or you ask me. Yeah, what was?
So check it, because I was in the car. You know what I mean? We had went to a session. We had mentioned on the last pod. We had did a studio session, and I was just listening to the raw cuts, and you know the MC and me kicked in on a couple of verses, and just like, yo, that shit is dope. I wonder if other MC, like, do you listen to yourself? And that's the question I'm at. Do you listen to yourself and be like, yo, that shit was dope? You know what I mean? Like, do you try to take yourself out of it, or is it natural to, or should you feel? How should you feel when you listen to your verse?
I don't know. That's like a couple of questions.
That's a couple of questions.
Yeah. So how should I feel?
The first question is when you listen to a verse.
Right. Do I be like, yo, that shit is
that
dope.
shit is hard.
Yeah. Sometimes. I mean, and maybe not early on, but a lot more as time went on, just because I felt like, number one, it was like, it's the rapper thing to do. Like, you're supposed to, like, big yourself up, boost your ego, like, make yourself feel good about what you're doing, feel confident about what you're saying. So I would purposely make myself have to write things that I felt like sounded boastful and sounded confident. So then it's like, you can't say this and not feel it and not mean it and not be convinced of it. Indeed. So that kind of is a part of it. But now I think it's just like, I mean, I've been doing it for a while, and I know like I've spent time on this. So I feel confident by the fact that I've spent time on it. If I felt like it was like a throwaway, I might be like, yeah, I probably could have wrote that better if I would actually like sat and thought about it. But nah, I definitely like feel good a lot of times about what I hear when I rap. Sometimes I'm like, okay,
all right, my man, talk that shit, man.
That's where it's got to be at, though. Yeah, especially for as long as we've been doing it. Like, even if there's still jitters, you know what I'm saying, and feeling unsure about like as far as what other people may view it as. I feel like that's a natural feeling, but it's like it can't outweigh, you know, your view and what you know, like, yo, the time I put into this, like, and what I meant when I said this, and how I put that word right there, and like how I picked that specific word to be said at that time. Like, there's a difference like that, you know, those who are aware of just what it is to write in general, you know, but like we talked about before, like, yo, you know, people like Shakespeare and them, like, yo, respects, but they not doing it. They don't do this. Like, they not. It's not like that. Like, they don't. Like, there's a different air, you know, because you have to be listening differently first. Like, as a fan, like you have to be listening to a rapper and how he's saying things and like being able to pick up on the nuances, like how he was able to, again, like we talk about like slant rhyme and things of that nature, like, and how a whole verse can sound based on that. It's like. It's a different thing that you got to know, like, to be able to put words together like that, because that means you're paying attention a lot. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would imagine you could probably get from most rappers, is that they pay attention. You know what I'm saying? They understand a little bit about a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? So that they can make what they write have more depth. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that's a question posing to any other MC that may be listening to this. Man. Like, yo, hit us in the comments, man. Let us know, like, for real, because I know that's how it feels like a weird question, because like, yeah, you're a rapper, you're supposed to.
Yeah, right. It does. But right, if you write a verse and you feel like it's whack afterwards, write another verse.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Write a new verse.
All right, just keep it moving. But yeah, I think especially when you're doing it and knowing that it's going to be consumed by others, you know, people are going to hear it and they're going to know about it, and you want people to hear, like, you're pushing for it. Like, that's a different thing, because now you might be actually making it in a way where you want to know somebody might hear it in a certain way. So you might say something because you know people are listening, you know. So now there's a difference, you know, than the freedom of just writing sometimes, or just writing just for the sake of wanting to be really crazy with the way you put words together. Like, sometimes if you're writing intentfully, I don't know if that's the word, intentionally, that's the word. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got you.
Then you get it to be like people can see clearly, like how you like are, what you're mapping out, because now, and they get a moment with you almost. You know what I'm saying? Where they're like, oh, how he said that, and he was talking about like us listening and how we're like, so. Yeah, I feel like that's an important part as an MC, when you know you've connected on some level, you know what I'm saying, with the way you said something or what you said, you know, somehow, you know, like somebody's gonna be like, oh shit, he just went there, like he said that. Like, again, the greats that will get brought up here often, you know, again, the Black Thoughts and the Royces, I mean, just they'll reference stuff, or the Nas's or the Lupe Fiascos. When they reference a name, sometimes I want to know who that is.
Yeah, word.
So I go look it up. You know what I'm saying? Then it may lead me to something else, which leads me to something. So it's like, that's what the great, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
rappers is trying to do. They're trying to like put you on game. They trying to like code the language and tell you about some stuff, and then let you figure out the rest. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's a piece. All right, now go have fun. Like, because, you know, it's hard to sometimes get everything in a verse. You might have 1,000 ideas, and so you try to put a bunch of stuff together and you get some of it, but then you're still like, but that's the great part. Like we were saying, like, this is a long game. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad to have to wait for the next few years to build something that's substantial and has a consistency. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, brick by brick, one by one. I'm not, you know, I don't expect everything I'm trying to do to just one day in the next month, oh my God, everything's great now. I'm doing this and doing. That would be amazing. And I would love for that to happen, but I'm not like, I'm not that naive.
It's the grind. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is what the grind is. You know what I mean? You reap what you sow.
That's true.
You know what I mean? In so many instances.
Yeah, I mean, same. I mean, you've been producing, so I mean, you know the game. You know, you just keep going. You know, you just keep finding a new way, and you just refine what you've already been doing, and you know, expand, try different sounds, and like, that's what it's all about, man. That's
man, trying to get shit better than the last.
Yeah, you know, exactly, and that's why it's so good about this. You know, once you've done it once and you felt it, and then you've done it again. After you've done it a few times, then you realize it's like, I just need the feeling of something. Then I can create.
Yeah.
Things happen. Like, I don't even have to, like, once the energy is there and I'm ready to do something, it happens. I don't have to really put like 1,000% into it and like work really hard and like drive myself crazy over it. It's like when the thing is there and the time is there, the feeling is there, it's like, it's gone. It's ready to go. Let's do it. Like, but that happens a lot with just knowing what you want, knowing who you are, knowing whatever you want to say, not trying to hold back, not trying to like, well, what if I say it this way? It'll probably be better because people probably like this. Like,
how many people know who they are?
Yeah.
How many artists know who they are for real?
Nobody really.
Until like their fourth album.
Right. And even then, shit happens, and you might fuck up and do something like. But that's the part about it. Like, as a creative of any kind, I think is like, you're supposed to take that time when those things feel wrong and bad and you fucked up or people think you fucked up, whatever, and just do something better with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've seen a lot of examples, like the Kanyes and the Eminems and the other guys who it feels like when somebody tries to take them and throw them against the wall and say that they've lost it and they're crazy and they don't get it and they can't make it happen no more, and whatever they've said about them, they've usually turned it and done something else, and you've been like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
watch this.
I mean, that wasn't as bad. I'm lying. That was good. Like, like, but that's just what happens when you've got to have that push. Like, again, me and Steve, we talked about it a bunch. Other times we've talked about it. I think we talked about it on the first episode.
Yeah.
It's like that, having that push. You just kind of sometimes have to create this imaginary falsehood of terrible rappers that you just have to create, that you have to kill them all, and like you're just trying to slay them, and like it's just it's the same with just in life in general. Like, you got to find that thing that makes you feel like you got to move and you got to do something. Indeed. Like time is not forever. You got something's got to click that makes you feel like, I got to go. I got to,
Yeah, no, I was just having a conversation earlier with one of the homies, man, and we were talking about businesses and just like business owners, and he asked me a question. He was like, "Yo, what made you think, like, how were they before they were like the business, like the billionaires?" And I'm like, "Yo, they were thinking of ideas. Let's just like how we sitting in here thinking of ideas or things to do. Exactly. They were sitting there too, and it took a bunch of times failing doing things to push them and to learn and to, you know what I mean, and get going. Like, but it takes making the moves, like doing, because you can sit there and think all you want, but if you don't put anything behind it and do anything, it's just gonna be a thought. That is what it is.
Yeah,
it's just, but
it's literally that simple. Like, I mean, it sounds, the hard part for a lot of people, I think, that are in a certain mentality, is to understand that and not get angry and say, oh, it's easy to just say it's just this mind thing and you can just make it happen, and you just like, it's like, yeah, if you understood the core of what I was saying, you know that I didn't just mean you could just think of something and this shit just happens. It means you think of it, and then that thing, because it's in your head and you can see it, it means all it takes now is the work, and the shit would happen. It's like, that's all it is. It's not like this big grand thing that people make it out to be. And it's because they're trying to project too far. Yeah. Like, give yourself real bite-sized goals and then have a big picture. Like, have your big goal, have what you want, know what you want, know that clearly. Like, be able to see this big vision. And that's incredible to have that big of an imagination. Like, be proud of yourself to have that big of an imagination. You can see that. You know, but then start breaking it down. Yeah. How do I get there, right? Indeed. Okay, let me find out the people who are there and read about them. Let me see how they got there, take some of their tips, and then find people in the similar lane as them and find out some information from them. And then I can start taking the steps better every time. I'm not going to get it right, perfect, you know, but I'm going to learn by getting it from the people who know it. Again, like, I don't need the information from the person who doesn't know it. I don't care about the guy who has an opinion. It's not important. That guy doesn't help me when I need to know something. Opinions are great, and it's amazing that we have the platform like this, like podcasting and other things, where you can put out your own expression and have your own opinion. That's great. But in the world of learning, I need the fact. I need the studied thing that people know.
What Hov say? Like, everybody can tell you how to do it. They never did it.
They never did it. That's a fact. And there's a whole lot of those these days, especially. More and more every day. Everybody just got the answer, but you broke. I'm sorry. No offense, yo. This is the fact. Yo, if you broke, why you telling me? You telling me how to be broke, man. And that's great. I'm not mad at you. Like, it's unfortunate because that's reality. That's what happens in the world. I'm in that mentality, I think, in some ways. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm just now, it's like the awareness of it means now you take action. Yeah. Don't sit and be mad and be angry at everybody who getting money because you look dumb.
Get money.
You look dumb. And that's what they thinking. You look dumb. They laughing at you.
That's real.
It's like, yo, it's the sickest game. You think your anger and your frustration is making any difference to them. It ain't. Nope. They ain't changing nothing. They out here they're gonna do what I just said about rappers. They're gonna take that energy and go harder, make more money, and laugh at you harder. That's just a fact. Like, you can't help it. People know there's called it's alchemy. You know what I'm saying? There are people who understand. You take that energy that people throw at you and you learn how to transmute it and to do great things. That's what people have done all over the world. It's not like, again, this information is not like as sacred and so crazy as people are making it out to be. It's just the execution. It's like, yo, you know you can do anything, right? And people are like, yeah, that's cool, man. I know. But, you know, I'm in this situation. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All right, man, peace. Yeah, like, no offense. Like, that's just how people are getting these days. The people who have the information, they tired. They don't want to tell nobody no more. I'm tired of telling you. I don't want to help y'all.
That's why you can't get information for free. As much as we want it, and it should be, but
I mean, Joe Budden said something similar to that too. He said he talked to Jay early on about the title deal or something like that, and he was like, "Can he get the information?" And Jay was like, "Nah." He's like, "Nah, can't give you that. Can't do that."
Sorry.
So
not sorry.
He understood that. Then later on, he came back and he was like, "Man, I told the guys," and then I thought about it and I was like, "Damn, Jay, you did it again." Man, damn, you so good, man. Jay, I love you, Jay. You so good, man. I get it now. I get it. Yeah. It's the game, you know. It's, you wouldn't know it if you didn't do it, you know. And it's like, imagine, you know, a 7-year-old being given the keys to endless abundance, you know, being able to make your own way and having your own thing and creating your own path and being your own boss and all that. Like, imagine that, you know. Not to say that they can't do it. I'm just saying it might be without the guidance of somebody older who has been through it to help them, they would be reckless. They would be outrageous, you know, because of how young they are. Indeed. They wouldn't understand the full breadth of what it was that they were doing. They wouldn't be their fault though. So that's why I think, like you said, it's through time. You just kind of pick up shit and you can figure it out. Like, but sometimes you don't need to have. That's what's scary right now. You know, these kids, they getting a lot of information really fast. You know, they have access to so much so fast, and they get to see it as often as they want.
I got a love-hate relationship with YouTube for that. Right. You know what I mean?
I could see that. Yeah. With a lot of kids.
Oh my God.
YouTube crazy.
Yeah. But But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. Just it's the thing with kids right now. They you know, in general, all of us really, but especially because they're so young. Again, it's a lot of information, and a lot of it's not being monitored, and it's in a lot of ways. I don't feel like the government should be able to monitor that and to decide that we should, censor it in some way or whatever. Right. I think people individually need to take that up as their own thing that they do within their household and what they do with their family. Like, because again, this is a problem when you're allowing for a system. You're saying, I need your help to do this thing for me, when it's like, nah, we just do it. What do you mean? They don't have to mandate it and because that's when you it's like, that's what you're doing. Stop giving them the right to take the shit and do the shit that they doing. Take it back to you and do it. Just do it. What do you mean? Don't ask them. Fuck that. Tell them, no, we don't want your shit. We don't want your version of what we want. Yeah. We want what we want. We don't want your version of it. You know what I'm saying? We know what y'all gonna do with it. Y'all gonna take it and spin it and flip it and do it to some other shit so you can take what you need. Like, nah, And that's like I said, with this system that's going on now, with kids having to do virtual stuff, it's like, this is an opportunity for a lot of people as a group. As again, like I say, it takes a village. It don't take, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of people coming together and realizing like, yo, these kids gonna be raising us, quote unquote, not raising us, but taking care of us. When we get old, they'll be the ones in positions doing things. The world. So it's like, understand that, and yo, tell these kids the right things, man. Help them get the knowledge they need, and calm them when they need to be calmed down, because it's a lot of kids that's just out here wilding. They feel like don't nobody get it, and they seeing as crazy things are. They don't care. You think these kids care?
The young boys. They
going through it, man.
The young boys is wilding out here.
All of everybody, kids, girls too. They out here wilding. Everybody out here.
I don't know what they call the young. Say young girls.
Young girls.
With the young boys. Yeah. The young girls.
Yeah, man. G's. Everybody, man.
Everybody wilding, man. Everybody wilding, man.
Everybody wilding.
I can't even just.
But we know who really wilding. Yeah. The government and this Cheeto face looking ass. Anyways, we ain't gonna get too deep into that. We ain't gonna get too deep into that. Nah, they ain't coming over here, man. All the way out here in Virginia Beach doing nothing, just talking. They don't be. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't be worried about talking. You care, yo? Come on, man. Like, again, it's like, yo, I'm supposed to get mad over people's words. Like, somebody says something. Like, that's what Joe Budden said too. Talking about on Snowfall when Fred, is that what he said? Yeah, he said it. Franklin. Yeah, my bad. Said it to his homie. He said something like that. Yo, I'm supposed to get mad over somebody's words, man. Like, we out here making $1 million a day. You kidding me? I'm supposed to be mad over somebody who said, yo, you gotta chill, relax. Like, you gotta chill. Like, no, I'm not mad at nothing. I'm making $1 million a day. He could say whatever he want. He can believe whatever he want. Because the truth is, he knows what happens if something goes that way. So it's like, when you're not worried because you set up and you focused on your thing, it's like, how do I have the time to care or worry about what somebody might have to say?
I mean, not words like that.
But that's what happens when you don't have anything to do, and when you don't have something to keep you occupied and keep you busy, keep you focused, and give you purpose. Then you find excuses and you find reasons to talk about people, and you whatever. Like, that's what everybody be doing, man. It's like, you spending all your time just worried about what other people doing. Yeah. That's why you have so much time to do all this shit you're doing. It's like, it's simple. The truth is in what you're doing. Like, you looking at yourself, but looking at everybody, but all the time you keep saying to somebody else, like, yo, look at you. Look at what your habits are.
Self accountability.
Like, I watched that
Come
book.
on, man. Accountability.
Yeah, there accountability.
We go.
Yeah.
There we go.
That book, I got that book I downloaded from Derek Grace. Like, that was one of the things. It was like, and he said it on some videos on YouTube or something, like, about, yo, look at your life for the next 7 days. Just the next 7 days. You really should do 30 days, but 7 days especially will show you off top. You do 7 days and watch your habits and see what you're doing. You'll see what the problem is. If you really willing to be that honest with yourself, if you really willing to look at all the things you do with your time and everything you put into, you'd see exactly what the hell the problem is. But that's self-analyzation. Yeah. Don't nobody want to do that. You kidding me? No. Pick the phone up. Scroll real quick. Find somebody else's life to look at. Like, that's what's going on. And it's like, that shit ain't getting you nowhere. Clearly. You know what I mean? That's the new what is that? I'm trying to think of a word to call it. Some new shit, Werds Illah. Psychological treadmill. You on a psychological treadmill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Scrolling on your phone. Just you ain't moving nowhere. Yeah. That phone, that's scrolling. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't did nothing. Yeah. You ain't been nowhere.
It's making your brain tired.
You ain't outside, like they say the kids be saying. You ain't outside.
Word. That's fact.
You in the house or in your car or something. Like, nah, this is where we've gone wrong, man. It's like, what are we doing? What is everybody doing? Like you said, everybody just wilding out. Yo, calm, everybody chill out, man. Playing right into their hands. We making this shit easy for people who making us angry. We just keep letting them make us angry. Like, stop. Like, at some point, find something to do, man, and do that shit every day with no fail.
Hell yeah.
And then when you ready, get some other people who've been doing that too, and go full steam ahead. Like, it's like you gotta be working, man. I don't know, sitting still and waiting for the sky to fall. I guess people feel like the world about to end every day. Like every year, the world about to end. Something that happened, the world about to end. Something happened. They said this is coming. They said Yellowstone exploding and
the
shit.
The bubonic plague is back.
Everything is back, man. The bubonic plague came back and said, COVID.
Yeah.
Not today. We out here. Oh man, what's coming back next, man? 2020. What they bringing back next from the dead?
They lynching.
I didn't bring that back. That is a sad, unfortunate, real thing that happens all the time.
I mean, not to say that it probably ever left, but I mean, it came back to the.
We're being surveyed more. People are talking a lot more, trading information a lot more. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot more being seen and shown that, like, at some point was like just a back of the alley thing. Nobody talked about it. They swept it under the rug. And police, again, it was a police station in somewhere in New York, Rochester, or some shit like that. Like, everybody just resigned, and even the police chief just resigned because it was like, yo, because y'all been fucked up. Y'all been doing some fucked up illegal shit the whole time. So it's like, yo, none of y'all stand a chance of being back for any reason. You all, and this is everywhere. This is a habit. This is a system. Again, that's what.
Defund the police. Yeah. I'll say it.
Defund the police. Exactly. 100%. And people who are misguided on that, do your Googles. Look your shits up on. It's like, ain't nobody got to explain shit to nobody who ain't willing to understand. You don't get it. And it's not a sense to explain shit that people don't want to understand. It's like.
Yeah, man. I just heard a story earlier, man, that, hit me because it was like, they said the lady called the police because her son was he suffered Asperger's. You know what I'm saying? And so she called because she couldn't get him under control. She was just like, yo, he doesn't have a weapon, but he's frantic and he gets like this. And I'm assuming, he was probably a big boy, you know what I mean?
Right.
She can't, I have to believe he was like 13, 14, something like that. So the cops come, and I don't believe that. I agree with, I believe it was Charlamagne was talking, that these people shouldn't be called for these types of situations, but they came there and they didn't know how to handle him. So I guess she went away for a second or they took him somewhere else, and, a couple minutes later she heard a scream and gunshots. They shot the boys, he's severely injured. You know what I mean? Because they're not trained to deal with something like this. It's not criminal, you know what I'm saying? But you just can't control this man. And all you know is to tase and beat him up and do stupid shit. Like, someone else needs to be sent there. You know what I'm saying?
You're taught in combativeness and taught in how to, like, fight. And even in a bad way, too. Like, they all suck. Police officers can't fight for shit.
Yeah, come on, man.
And they out here doing things incorrectly because they can't do the hold right, or they don't know how to throw a proper punch. They don't know how to do nothing right.
Can I say a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you only joined the police force because you was probably getting your ass whipped in school, or when you were younger, like getting punked. And I sorry, not sorry, but
and
I know some of y'all.
Yeah, and that, again, we all know. Like, yo, this is a thing that's deeply ingrained, that it's an uphill battle, you know what I mean? Yeah. To even get people to understand it. That's why it's like, again, at the same time, while all of this is happening, this push for reform and this need for defunding and a new system to emerge, and this new way of handling how we go through communities and actually build, instead of trying to find ways to destroy and to tear down and to prevent and to avoid. And like, That's what's going on. It's like it's avoid until there's a chance that you can get something that you think is going to get you somewhere, instead of let me do something that isn't going to necessarily benefit me. I do something that I may not even get anything out of it, just because like it's like you literally lose nothing by doing things because you want to help, like and not even help, because I watched even some of that Nick Cannon and Kanye West interview, and I'm talking about the word help. Like you look it up, like one of the definitions is like to avoid, you know. So it's like even the way we speak and the way we learn information is just like a lot of stuff is like we're being told about things in a way where it's like, you know, our language is like magic in a way, you know. Like I said, it's spells. You're spelling. You're telling things to yourself, and you know, a lot of us, we don't even know what we're telling ourselves, and we keep, you know, being sidetracked by things and allowing ourselves to, like, you know, be defined by things that somebody else thought of. It wasn't me, and I know it wasn't me because I wasn't there for this. None of the stuff in my head, the stuff that I personally gave, this is stuff that was given to me. This is stuff that other people have said. This is words that were told to me. I don't know 100% of anything. There's no way to know. Like, all this stuff is by somebody else, and we've somehow started to understand it more and more. People have, but language is changing all the time. The way we communicate is changing all the time. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of stuff, communicating anything is kind of different. You know, like we've gotten to memes where there's less vocal communication now. That people are understanding things just by a picture, just by, you know, a quick video of some kind that's just like saying something. You just get something out.
Cry face.
Yeah, right.
But no, whatever.
It's like, it's crazy how we, you know, we've been able to over time, like, keep the core of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, communication and the way we're communicating is different with devices and, again, whatever, but the core of communication is still there. Like, there's certain things that don't go away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, you know, certain things you just notice, like, especially with faces. I feel like as a human, we're like, you just notice a face. Like, you can just read a face after a while. That's why emojis are like so effective, because you just get, like, you see a face and that says something. You know, even if you don't speak the same language as somebody, you've seen a certain emoji, it kind of tells you something already. You know, man, that's like hieroglyphs. Yo, think about it.
Word.
That's crazy, right?
Connecting dots.
That's crazy, right?
Connecting dots right there.
That's like the hieroglyphs and shit.
Word up. No,
I didn't say nothing new. Trust me, I'm not saying that.
No, you're not.
I know people like inevitably have something to say, like, yo, he be thinking he knows something. Like, I don't be knowing shit. That's the thing about it. The funny part is I don't know shit.
Right.
And I was just trying to say that to you. None of us know anything. Like we were just even saying earlier, rap, nobody knows themselves really. We all just hoping we getting better at finding out something about what we do. Like, the truth is, you don't know shit. You just playing a role for a little while.
Enjoy it.
Having fun.
Right. That's good, man, while we're here, because what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, what the fuck are we doing, man?
What the fuck are we doing?
R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, man. I just had to say that, man.
Chadwick Boseman.
That was crazy, man.
James Brown.
Man.
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. Man.
Black Panther.
Did they say they played Thurgood Marshall, too?
Thurgood Marshall. Man.
I didn't see that movie, I'll be honest with you.
I did. I saw 21 Bridges, though, and that shit was fucking hard.
It was? I haven't watched it yet.
Man.
That's crazy.
Shit.
He did that. He was under chemo during that, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, man. See, that's what I mean. Like, yo, see, that's a person who was selfless, same way like Charlie Murphy was, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just they knew something and they didn't question it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't take time to like try to overanalyze it and like turn it into like some long drawn out thing that we had to keep bringing up and keep turning into some other thing. Like, he just did exactly what he could do while he could
until he couldn't,
and that was it. Like, he didn't take time up with people. Like, he just, you know what I mean? And that, again, that's a hard pill to swallow. I feel like most people, it should be, because it's like, yo, look at what he was capable of for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Dealing with what he was dealing with, and he wasn't asking anybody for no help. He wasn't trying to be a pity party or nothing like that. It's like, come on now, like, what are you complaining about? You know what I'm saying? Like, He's got family. He's got people probably worried about him all the time, but he's like, no, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep working. You know, make these incredible films. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when my time comes, and it's like we could be doing that right now. You know what I'm saying? Without having to have cancer, without having to have, you know, something that is in danger of you. Yeah. You know, you could be doing that all the time just because. Yeah. Like that's why I feel like, you know, again, what Joe Budden was talking about is like people don't get it is because it's so much easier to just have somebody take care of things for you. Like it's so much easier to just have everything done basically for you. You know, your taxes are done for you. Everything is, your money is done where it needs to be done, and bills are set up in a certain way, and you got everything is kind of organized for you to where you don't have to truly do much, you know, besides give your personal time and labor away, you know, and that just like is weird. You know, it's hard to get any of us to all of us, anybody.
That's what we're trying to get from underneath. You know what I mean? By owning things and
yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's the right of every human being that's alive. Like, yo, you need to own you first and foremost, more than anything. You should own you. Own you. Like, you're already a commodity. That's what your social security number, your birth certificate is. But own you, though, at least. Own your thoughts, your creations, your ability to create. Own that ability to create. Because you can own a creation where they'll take the other ones. Like, but no, like that's a. I don't know how you don't. Maybe some people don't get it. Maybe it's not meant for everybody to get it. I guess I don't know. That's a hard. That's why I said I feel like the Jay-Z's and certain people are getting to a point where they're like, I don't have the time to give you the information. Not that I don't want to, but that what would I get out of it, and what would you get out of it, really? You know what I'm saying? More than anything, because you'd probably be missing some pieces. So some things you might need to know that you only get through experience. So if I told again, it's like. This is where we're at right now. You got to be willing to try and do something, and then all the other things will probably start happening right behind that. You know.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I should have took this fucking store break. You know what I'm saying, on the way here.
Yeah.
You know, but
man,
it's cool, man. I'm here.
Yeah, we here.
With dry mouthedness.
With dry mouthedness.
You know, shout out to Rosie Perez.
Rosie
Perez. I don't know if y'all remember that.
I want to.
Listen, I'm about to make a game. I ain't even gonna put it on blast, but I'm making a game. It's coming soon. You know,
yeah, man.
Sooner than later.
Yeah, sooner than later.
I'll put some work in.
Yeah, man.
Tell me that wasn't just a fucking. Well, that wasn't a line, but.
Yeah, nah, but that essence, we all do that. Well, I don't know all of us.
Movies,
I mean,
bro.
I know a lot of people who do that. You know, walk around with their friends and stuff. They all have like movie clips that they all remember, or you know, and they all drop out quotes and stuff. Like, you know, everybody does it. So,
too much game. But yeah, we do it, man.
Yeah, man.
It's coming, yo. I'm about to make something with this.
Yeah, and that's a thing too, man. Like, how do you turn yourself from, like I said, being somebody who's so attached to like being somebody who's like already got things taken care of, your payroll's done, like all your money is where it needs to go, and you know you got everything set up. How do you go from that to being somebody who's like, no, I don't really work, quote unquote, a certain specific full-time job, but I do get up and make sales every day. You know what I'm saying? I do sell product, I do sell services. You know, like that's where you turn from just being somebody who just goes to get a paycheck, who turns yourself into a paycheck. I'm a paycheck. I have ideas. I have things I want. I have things I feel like I could provide. If I got better at it, I organized it, put it out to people. It's the promotion, the marketing, all that stuff comes with it. It's like, it's really about, like we were saying earlier, I was talking about Derek Grace. It's like, yo, you own your intellectual property. That's the most important thing. You have to own that. Like, if you don't, you know, you could be taking risk, even having conversations with people, you know what I'm saying, about certain things. You know, you get with somebody who's having a good time with you, you start discussing certain things and just joking around, you joking about certain things, but next thing you know, he take that shit and turn it into something else and make a business out of it. Or you start something with somebody who, you know, we were just cool, so we just started this thing and we was really dope at it, and he liked how I did this and so we started doing it. I never did any paperwork though, and now he take that shit, run with it, and get something, and you don't get nothing. It's like that happens all the time, man. Don't giving away ideas and thoughts just because you cool with somebody. He say he knows somebody, or he does what you do, and you fuck with him. He fuck with you, and it's like that's cool and all. But it's like if we ain't both properly handling things, then what are we talking about? Like I'm not. What we sitting down talking about? What we talking about? The weather. That's cool. We talk about the weather. I'm with that. Talking about the sports and shit. I'll talk about sports because I don't want to do nothing with that. But
have your shit right. Protect yourself.
Yeah, it's
Protect
important.
Your neck.
I don't have everything yet, and that's what I'm working towards. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I put everything in line. You know what I mean? But that's what the work is about, though. Instead of waiting for everything to be right, you just start doing the work. You know what I mean? And then as things start to turn over, you start taking the steps towards those other things, and then things, That's why I said it's a building process, and that's why I'm not worried about how long or if or how many, if ever, whenever people decide to come along and join us for this ride and want to listen to where I want to do this because it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Word. And I feel like there's things that we can talk about and we can say that maybe spark something in somebody else to go do something. Maybe not even, they don't go do a podcast. Maybe they go do a fucking, I don't know. They start up some other business of some sort or do something else that they
write a rap.
Make
a beat.
Anything that they do, man. I feel like there's a lot of lanes.
Yeah, I want to paint a picture.
Yo,
I've been thinking
about that a lot too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I thought about it, especially for this next project. But that's why I got my mom to like help out, with what she was gonna do. But I myself, like you said, I thought about that too. But I just haven't like really went and got anything to start trying anything. But yeah, I've thought about it. I watched a bunch of videos too. Like on YouTube at night sometimes to be bored and shit. I'll watch like a video of somebody painting something, do like the pour painting. You ever seen like the acrylic pouring? When they just pour paint, like they put a bunch of paints together and they'll pour it and it'll look like a galaxy or something, and they'll do like some crazy shit with like spray paint and whatever. Like it'd be some crazy shit I'd be seeing. Right. So it looks like it would be fun, but I don't know, like I said, I just never went. I just never went and did anything about it though. But I could see how man. That would be tight, man. That'd be tight for
I probably haven't painted anything since fucking high school.
You ain't lying. Me either. Me either. I think I took an art class as an elective, like I don't know, like 10th or 11th grade maybe or something like that. Yeah. That shit was fun though, but again, it's weird. It's like, cause I didn't think that was like a thing people do. I thought art class. Yeah, it's an elective, right? To like finish up my schedule so I can get whatever I needed to get, like, but I never took it like I could do this, like, outside of here, my life, like, you know what I mean? Which is weird. Like, I don't know why I didn't. I don't know why I never thought of it. Like, you could do this outside if you want to on your own time.
I know what I thought of, and not to sound corny because we do music and shit, but anytime I ever thought of doing something, it was always like rapping or making music, like,
right?
Seriously, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I remember being in, like, study blocks and shit like that, writing raps, like.
Yo, me too. And before that, I was writing jokes, like one-liners. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's so fat, or your breath smell like, or whatever. Like, just
poems. I was writing poems.
Yeah, that too. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That was, listen.
Yeah, man.
But I always saw myself doing something with that shit.
Yeah. And, I feel you. Like, I mean, early on, like, early on. Oh shit! I think I was like 15, maybe I was 15. Yeah, I was like, it was me, Steve, his brother Ray. They gonna hate me if maybe they don't give a fuck. I don't know, whatever. My homie Sergio, Julio, Miguel. And we had a group called. What was the group called? I think this shit was called Young Ballers, yo. Hey. But plot twist: Young was spelled Y-U-N-G.
Hey.
Y'all was on it.
Y'all was on it. I'm telling you, I said the same thing. We did shit before niggas did shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is just a cycle.
Like, we were just rapping just because. Like, early on, I did it because it was funny. Like, I don't even remember, like, really when I started rapping, so to speak. I just remember, like, we would tell jokes all the time. That would be, like, how we bust shit out. Everybody would do that all the time. So then after a while, I was like, well, rapping's not so much different, you know what I'm saying? And then I started listening a lot more intently, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And was like, let's see, you know what I'm saying? I start, like, again, in study block, writing a verse or writing a poem or something like that, and then turning that into a rap. And what, like, you know, that was the fun time, you know.
Yep.
Every day you couldn't stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being able.
Notebooks.
Yeah, exactly. Or just like not being able to capture something. Like, I'd be going to sleep and be hearing a whole song, you know, or an idea coming to me like so clear, but I couldn't get it out. I'd go to start writing it and it would go away. But I'd be ready to go to sleep and it'd be so clear, like this certain idea, and I just beat in my head, and I'd be like, yo, this is crazy. Like, that's weird. You know, I can understand, like, not as deeply, but like a Ryan Leslie, who I feel like he's under that pressure all the time because he can play so many instruments. You know, he could probably hear a full orchestrated, you know what I'm saying, amazing beat being
compose a whole
and then have to take the how to break that down into the right instrument and then be able to play all that. Like, yeah, that's different. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not at that level, you know what I'm saying, obviously, but
me neither, man.
I feel like the part of the brain that works is similar when you're talking about, like we were talking about with rapping, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's a similar place where you have to go to in order to formulate these verses in a way where how you're able to make a certain word sound, or how you're able to make, how you just, again, anything you do as an MC, I think it's a different thing, you know what I mean? You got to be able to, like I said, pull from a lot of places, you know what I mean? You can't, well, you could, because obviously there's a lot of rappers who have kind of existed in a certain place for a long time, kind of rapped about the same things, but you know, even them, if they don't come fresh with something new about something recent in their life, or that even if it's just something that they bought or whatever, it's like they get stale. So they got to learn, whether it's just learning about cars and jewelry or whatever, they got to learn something, you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise you just be saying the same song every day, you know what I'm saying? And then it gets boring. So I need you to, you know, you got to be somewhat smart and put together, be able to rap, you know what I mean? It's a whole different set of things, you know what I'm saying? But I do want to get into like writing of some sort. Like, I've been thinking about doing an ebook or something like that. Something simple, like maybe just some quotes or something. Like, I even thought like, I could probably take stuff from Instagram, like old posts, and like take some of the text or something like from the caption or whatever, and put that as just a bunch of those. And make a whole book of those and sell that for something, and take all those posts off of Instagram and be like, oh, I'm giving way too much, man. See, this is what happens here. I'm not ashamed about, you know, ideas and thoughts that people can use. Like, you have content you've created something by what you've done on Instagram, on any platform. You know, you're putting out creations. And these creations can be monetized, but you've got to know what you're doing. And I'm just now learning a lot of this stuff, and I don't know half the stuff I need to know. I don't know much, you know what I'm saying? I know enough that I know that if you're a creator, you need to be finding avenues to get those creations and get money for them, because not everybody knows how to do that. I'm sorry. Some people are creative, but not creative in multiple ways, you know what I'm saying? And they're not even willing to test the waters with multiple things. Some people find one thing and they just want to do that. And that's nothing bad with that. I just think that that's not realistic if you're trying to really do something. Like, at some point you're going to want and need to know, and not even just want, it's going to be instinctive. Like, I don't know any other way but to learn how to do more with, you know, the video editing, or learn more with graphics, or like, because I'm trying to center myself around what I see in my head and how to get it out. I don't want to, leaving too much to chance with somebody else. I have, you know, less right to say anything, but though that would be the time I'd really want to say something, you know what I'm saying? If somebody fucks something up. But with myself, if I mess up, I'm not going to really beat myself up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do my best to get exactly what I see in my head out to make what I want. Or I'm going to improvise, and I'm going to be happy because I know I created it, you know? So it's like, that's why I said, like, whatever we're creating, we got to find an avenue and a way to, like, give it a place to exist. You know what I'm saying? And then just tell people about it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to have, like, a, you know, set thing that we do, you know? We can have multiple fields of things that we just, and that's what you want to do anyways. Eventually you would do that. I would feel like anybody who does one thing that they say they really do, at some point, once they've done that and they become successful at that, and maybe they make a lot of money doing that, they're going to eventually want to do something else. Like, you're never just going to be like, well, okay, I got this sealed up, so I'm just going to do this until I die. It's like, you might, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely that you're gonna stay the course with that one thing forever and never do anything else. You know, so as I say, I imagine why not just keep trying things? You know what I mean? Like you're never dead until you're dead. So I feel like you could try some new shit, fuck around. Even if you don't like the shit, fuck it. You try the shit. Don't do it again then. Fuck it. You don't like the shit. That's cool.
Yeah.
So with the painting shit, like you don't know. You might pick it up and like it, or you might pick it up and be like, "Nah, this is whack. Never doing this again." Yeah, you never know. Like, but once you try, you might be like, you know what? I could see myself getting better at this, and I could see myself doing something that, you know, I could create again a shop or something that I could start doing pieces and start selling them and whatnot. I could probably get into a gallery of some sort, or you know, do my own gallery somewhere, and you know, rent a spot out and just put my work up. Like, you know, there's a lot of options that we have. It's just that we're like overthinking the whole execution instead of just doing the one part first, which is you have to have the creation first.
Yeah, word.
Once you got the creation, then all the other stuff can start coming with it. But you gotta that's why with us, you know, the work we're doing, you know, going to the studio like we did, you know, and pushing ourselves to, you know, continue to over whatever time we deem necessary, create, you know, and get a project together, you know. It's like that's why again doing the podcast is just trying to stay creative, keeping the mind, you know, fresh on trying to think and do something, because we all get stuck in routines and then nothing happens. And we just sit there. So yeah, man. Oh, well, look at that. Look at that. See, I was actually waiting for a second because I was gonna ask you something, but
hey, man.
Nah,
shit.
we
on. Yeah. What's up? Real quick. We wrapping it up. Yeah.
Okay, so for your project, do you have any sort of anything you can give away about it? I know you don't want to. I know you're still fresh on. I know it's like, you know, you might have an idea, but I don't know how far along you are really. You know, I know you said you got a few joints that you still got to record, but what can you say about it? Like, it's conceptually of anything, can you say about like what it is?
Conceptually, it's heavy for me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It's very.
I mean, I've heard a good portion of it. I don't remember all of it, but a good portion. And I do know, from the way the lyrics are,
Like there's a couple of joints that seem like it's gonna be light, you know, but for me, like, no, I was in a certain headspace, man, with everything that was going on. Because I don't know, I got a lot of verses that I just wrote, and then there's verses that I wrote a while ago when some other shit was going on before all the Black Lives Matter movements and you know. And it's all the same shit. It all fits.
Yeah, which is like it's a sad, unfortunate serendipity, so to speak, of things that. Well, how does that happen? But it's because it's the world. It's the world. Man. It's been what's the world been, and just because now it's trendy and people are now talking about it a whole lot more, doesn't negate. This has been normal. Like, again. Why is it that Nas's albums are so great? Why is it that Jay-Z's albums are still ringing true? Why are these things still being? Because this is the world. This is the world.
Yeah. So that's what that is, man. And it's what it really is more so than anything is me getting back into, you know, writing, because I focus a lot more on making beats. You know, I'm trying to get beats and set up a platform for that, which, you know. Is in the works, but you know.
Yeah, like you said though, at least you're in the creative mode, and more than anything, even if you're not, 100% like established in some website where you got all your beats on there or whatever like that, it's like you're creating because you're getting the creative mode moving. Again, we were just saying you're getting it consistency in you. Whatever that is, even if it's only once a week or twice a week, whatever your system is and how you're getting things created, it's like you're finding that system. So like that's more important. And weird stuff is getting done. Again, he's got, you know what I'm saying? He produced everything on the project I'm doing, and he's on the project that I have out right now. So, you know, and you've got, you know, I know you said you did early on. You were not talking with, but there was a contest with Styles P, and you sent a few beats to that contest.
Yeah, Track Lib. Shouts out Track Lib. Beat Battle. Styles P. Right. I think I'm still waiting. Summer's about over now, so I might not have got picked. Hey,
but you dropped your hat in the ring.
Yeah, I did. I definitely did, yo.
And that's again, it's like, yo, we gotta stop. We all as a whole. I'm not saying just me and you. I'm just saying everybody as a whole is like, stop making things bigger than they are. Yeah. Like, yo, it's not that big. Like, when you overthinking, like, you making people out to be bigger than they are. You're making them more important than they are, putting them on the pedestal. Like, they really that important. Like, yo, no offense, these are like idols of mine. People I talk about, these artists, these rappers and whatnot. But it's at the same time, it's like, they human though. They sit down and shit too. Like, that's just the reality of it. So. Like, maybe some of them don't. I don't know. I don't know what they do with their time, but I don't know. I'm guessing that they sit down and shit. But anyways, so yeah, I just feel like we just get in the mode of creating, and it's being advanced every time. Like, it's getting better. We're finding new things, and we're new to people. Some people, you know what I'm saying? But we know, again, like we were talking about as being an MC. Like, yo, I know what I do. Like, I'm not guessing when I rap. It's not a guess. You know what I'm saying? These are thought out. These are prepared. These are ready to go. These I know what I did. You know, I didn't think about this when I went in the studio. I went in the studio because I was ready to go. Like, that's what the point is. Is like, you know when you're ready to go, and you go. You don't try to add extra thoughts to it and, but I got to do this and what about that and how am I going to make that? It's like, you're not there yet. You're at step 4 and you're looking at step 10. Stop it. You're not there. Don't go there yet. That's cool if you can see it and you know what it is, but you don't even know what it is yet because you're not there yet. So, you know, that's important that we just keep developing at our own pace, you know.
Word.
But I mean, we could keep going probably. We could, but
we could do this all night, man. I mean, that's how we get down anyway.
Yeah,
but,
we talk.
We can wrap it up for now.
Yeah, man.
Save it up for the next pod.
Yeah, man. We'll have plenty of time to keep this moving, y'all. So, you know what it is. It's Werds Illah, a.k.a. Drew Skills, a.k.a. Ill doing it too.
Yeah, man. It's, Baker, a.k.a. DBL, a.k.a. Ill doing it 3. You know what I'm saying? We here. We in there. We out there. We everywhere. We out now.
Yeah, but we everywhere for real though. You can check us out on Spotify, on YouTube, on Pocket Casts, on Apple Podcasts, a bunch of other platforms that stream this stuff. Wherever you're listening to this at, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what it is. We out of here, man.
Peace.